I went and found these triple chocolate chip gluten-free cookies. Oh, I'm so
Right.
excited. Popped
Yeah.
them in the oven. I put one in my mouth, but it tasted like hot wax. I said no.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dominique, and welcome to Eat With Dominique, the podcast for women with gluten sensitivities, IBS, and other gut challenges who want to eat confidently and pain-free. Today, I'm chatting with Lisa Marsh, founder of Miss P's Gluten-Free, the amazing granola brand rooted in flavor, health, and community. Lisa discusses what it was like living with a misdiagnosed gut issue for 23 years, the moment she realized gluten might be the problem, how her own family's history inspired her commitment to health and well-being, and the gluten-free cookie that changed everything. I can't wait for you to hear this. So, without further ado, grab a seat and let's eat with Dominique.
I first discovered Miss P's Gluten-Free actually on a trip to Chicago, and I was immediately hooked. And then I heard more about your story, and I was immediately inspired. So I guess to get more into that story, when did you realize that gluten wasn't working for your body? And I guess how did that moment change things for you?
For me, realizing that gluten wasn't working for me was like a trail of crumbs that kept saying, hey, there's an issue here you need to check out. So in 20, I would say 2009, things really bubbled over.
Mm,
With the passing of my mom, um, my symptoms got 10 times worse till I had no choice but to see a doctor and say, what is happening?
yeah.
So they finally said to me, you should avoid wheat, rye, and barley, which is
Mm,
gluten,
hmm.
and go on this gluten-free diet. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is that? Why me? And then I started to think about when I was in college at the age of 19
Hmm.
and was told I had a spastic colon.
Mm,
And when I was diagnosed with needing to be gluten free, the doctor said it was probably gluten back then
wow.
when I was 19. And I didn't get really diagnosed till I was 42.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I suffered in silence all these years, not understanding why I was having the acid reflux or the digestive issues or the and what I could do about it. And it began to be anything that I ate would just like cause these problems.
Right.
And when I was finally diagnosed, it was such a relief
Hmm.
because then I could actually do something about it.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And for me, that meant starting to bake,
Hmm.
starting to figure out what I liked that was not gluten free, and then how I could create those
Hmm.
so that they taste good, so that it was still good for you,
Right.
and that I could enjoy it. Because once many of us are told that we need to be gluten free, it's like, oh, life is over.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Hmm. But I guess before, well, to that point, like before Miss P's gluten free, I guess what was gluten free food? Like, what did it taste like for you? And I guess was there that moment when you were like, okay, like this, whatever this is, like this can't be my forever, so I need to do
Oh,
something about it.
and that was truly the thing. I
Hmm.
was like, I went and found these triple chocolate chip gluten-free cookies. And I was like, oh, I'm so
Right.
excited. So I popped
Yeah.
them in the oven. I was
Right.
waiting on them to get ready. And I put one in my mouth before it really cooled, but it tasted like hot wax.
Oh wow.
I said no. Then I began looking at healthier eating because
Hmm.
as we continue to age,
Hmm.
and thankfully we do because the alternative is not good,
Hmm.
we need to do better. And so
Right.
I started with, okay, I want something that tastes good and is good for me. And I wasn't finding that
Hmm.
at all.
Hmm.
And so I started baking. And the first thing I created was our cookie bar. because I'm a chocoholic. I'm self-professed. I'm in therapy for it. But graham cracker crust, two types of chocolate, two types of nuts.
Mm,
I love nuts. A
mhm.
little bit of coconut, a little bit of sweetened condensed milk, and trying to get this bar to stick together, because when you
Right.
remove the glue, the
Right.
gluten, you remove the glue or the binding agent.
Right. Yeah.
So getting that to form into bars was really a challenge. But
Yeah.
we finally got it, and people were hooked.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you're giving them something, right, that like they couldn't enjoy for so long. And now it's like, oh, wait, like not only can I enjoy it, but it tastes good, not like hard wax or cardboard or anything like that.
Yes. Then I started looking at things that I could do with reduced or no added processed sugar. And that's
Wow.
when I came up with our granola. And so our first granola is our berry nutty. It's our
Mm,
hero. Whole cashews, whole almonds, cranberries, raisins,
mm.
no added processed sugar, organic flax, organic chia, organic coconut oil. It is a gluten-free lover's dream.
When you were
If you want
making
to
like
eat
all these first
healthy.
recipes, was there a moment when you were like, okay, like not, I'm not just gonna bake this for myself, but I think like I need to do this for other people as well.
Yeah. It was when I was taking it to work, and I worked at the
Oh.
federal prison at the
Hmm.
time. And a lot of people that I spoke with at work was like, yeah, I have some of those symptoms too.
Mm,
I wonder, if I need to look into that. And
yeah.
so I would encourage people to do so. But with doing that, I needed to then offer them something that was palatable too,
Right.
because
Right.
I knew what I had gone through trying to find some snacks that
Right.
tasted good. So I would bake and I would take it to work, and the staff was like, I've had gluten free. It tastes like dog food. This cannot
Yeah.
be gluten free. So I had to assure them that yes, it is absolutely 100% gluten free, as I have been
Mhm.
since 2009. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Wow. You know, it's good when like your coworkers are like, this is like, this is it. Like we're not even
Yes.
just like, we're asking you to bring it back. Like,
Yes. Not
yeah.
only my coworkers, I would meet people, and people were like, these cookie bars, you can't come over here without them. They, we can even have them without you, but
That's fine. Yeah,
you
they're like,
can't
we don't
come.
need you. Yeah, we're just bring the
Right.
cookie
We
bars.
don't need
Yeah.
you. We just need them. I was like,
That's
oh,
funny.
okay.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
So I guess
So,
kind of going back a little bit about like kind of the birth of Miss P's. For those who don't know,
yes.
like who is Miss P and what does the name represent for you?
Yes. Miss P represents for me legacy.
Mm,
It is my mom. My mom is Miss Euless Patterson Brown. And unfortunately, the year I became gluten free is the same year I lost her.
mm.
So I carry her with me every day. She is my personal angel.
I love that.
And now I get to build on her
Mm,
legacy of wanting her children to do better.
mm,
We were born on the south side of Chicago, where we had few opportunities, few dollars, and she always wanted us to do better. And
mm.
so for me, that meant being the first of the six of us to go to college and
Wow, that's
graduate,
amazing.
the first to have a career in federal law enforcement that spanned 27 years,
Wow.
and then the first to create a business and legacy in her honor, and then build that to where we, this very day, are celebrating 10 years in business.
Yay. Congratulations.
Yay. Yay. So yeah, she's definitely my shero. And I say that all the time because she raised six of us and everybody got to live. The
Wow.
brothers of mine, if it was me, they might not have made it.
That's wonderful. I
But
really love that. Wait, you talked a little bit about this before when you were baking the cookie bars and like bringing them to work. What were those like first recipes like, and how are they different
yeah,
maybe than what we all love today with like the toffee and the cookie bars and granola?
yes, they were. challenging
Hmm.
because you have to get stuff to bind. You have to get stuff
Right.
to work well together. And then now for me, it's getting stuff that is not only good to you, but good for you.
Right.
So the granola is like my baby created from the need for delicious, nutritious, and healthy snack
Right.
foods.
Right.
And so the granola really does touch on all of those. And I tell people all the time, you can have the granola every day.
Right.
The cookie bars, the toffee are your treats for when you know you've hit the gym all week, you've done what you needed
Yeah.
to do, and you just want to treat yourself. And there is nothing wrong with that. I always practice the 80-20 rule.
Hmm.
80% of the time, you're doing what you need to do. You're eating healthy. You're watching what you put in here.
Hmm.
And then that means 20% of the time you can have that gluten-free cake or
Right.
those cookies or the toffee or cookie bar.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's so different now than when I started. When I started, a lot of times I felt like I was reaching around with my eyes closed and not
Right.
understanding what I was building. Now I firmly believe that what you eat shows up here
Hmm.
and shows up on them hips. And we should always choose to eat healthier and then find balance with our snacking.
Yeah. And I know like that idea of balance like is really important to you, like eating well and also like enjoying food,
Yes.
eating joyfully. I guess for you in your life, like what does that balance look like?
The balance looks like for me is getting to the gym 3 to 4 times a week.
Hmm. Hmm.
Even when I am running from place to place, because we have our products in retail stores. So we do lots of in-store demos, we do
Mm.
lots of vendor events, I do lots of webinars and lots of speaking and teaching, but it's balancing that
Hmm.
with also self-care.
Right.
Because if we can't take care of ourselves, there's no way we can help or serve others. And I
Hmm.
say to people, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right. Very
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know like you kind of touched on it a little bit, but like you believe kind of how our health and like what we eat are basically like inextricably linked. Was there a moment in your own health journey or in your family's journey where you realized like, okay, like I can't ignore this. Like this link is definitely there.
Yes, because when I look back on my family's legacy, my mom was only 60 when she passed away,
Mm.
and I'll be 60 in February.
Wow.
So that is always playing in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
But at 60, for me, I feel better than I felt in my 20s.
Wow.
So, um, and then my dad, he was 42
Mm.
and he had a stroke and passed away at 42.
Wow.
And then in 2018, I lost my middle sister.
Mm.
She was 51 and had a heart attack.
Mm.
And so it's so personal for me to realize that we have to take care of the one vessel that we have.
Hmm.
And that means eating healthier. That means movement,
Yeah.
getting up, moving around, getting to the gym, getting on walks, doing our part to take care of ourselves, and then to keep our minds healthy and
Right.
moving toward positivity.
Yeah.
So I say eat healthy and clean, move more, live better. And
Yeah.
for me, that means listening to positivity, listening to scripture,
Hmm.
being balanced all the
Hmm.
way through. And it's really challenging some days, sometimes things get the best of you. But if we can then just push through that and come out on the other side, then we are doing better. And it's every day, just getting better every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, like, I think you've said before, like, kind of when you know better, you do better, and kind of, like you said,
Yes.
making that an incremental change every day.
Yes, making that incremental change. So if you used to have 2 bags of potato chips every day, then reducing that to 1 bag. and then reducing that to a half bag, and then just gradually getting better.
Yeah, yeah,
If you never went to the gym and you go 15 minutes, just start somewhere.
right.
And that's what I encourage myself and encourage everybody around me to do, because you'd be surprised how small steps
Hmm.
can lead to huge rewards.
Yeah, yeah,
And once your health is gone, there is no getting it back. And if you ever try to get it back, it is really, really, really hard. So
yeah, yeah. Kind of like the
let's do what
importance
we
of,
can.
yeah, like establishing the habits now so that you don't have to like play
Yes,
catch up. Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Looking back now, since like you said, it's been 10 years, which is amazing. Is there anything that like you wish you knew when you started Miss P's that you know now, but you like didn't know at the time?
Yes. Well, I guess I should think about that, because if I had known it would be this challenging, I probably would have quit day one, day
Hmm.
two. I'd have been like, no, not doing that. So I think there's something to be said about really not knowing
Hmm. Hmm.
the challenges that are before you. But if I had known early on the benefits of raising capital
Mm,
before you really hit the shelves,
mm,
I think I would have then been able to do things a little bit different.
hmm.
But for me, coming from the south side of Chicago, where I am the first in my family to ever have a business,
Hmm.
it's challenging. So I had to learn a lot from the ground up.
Yeah. Yeah. In what
Mhm.
ways like would it be 'cause, like I don't know. In what ways would it be more helpful, I guess, to have the like capital in the way you say?
Yes, if you have the capital from the very beginning, then you can start off profitable, which
Mm,
really helps you to then scale, because at each
right.
level that you get to in business,
Hmm.
there are different challenges.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if you start off with the capital, then the challenges would be different. But
Mm,
for most, especially minority owned and female owned businesses, we
hmm.
just didn't know any better. I know
Right.
I did.
Right.
And I've learned so much over these 10 years, it would make your head spin.
Yeah, that makes
So that
sense.
would really, really, really help, because that is the number one factor why many businesses don't make it.
Hmm.
Capital. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Have there been any moments like along the way where like as you tried to like stick to like the ingredients you wanted to use or maybe the ethos of the company or the balance or anything like that, that it felt risky to do that? And how did you navigate those moments?
There have been so many opportunities for us that felt risky, and we jumped out there and did it anyway.
Hmm.
And some of them worked out fabulously, and some not so great.
Hmm.
However, my belief is that you learn from everything you do.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
for us, those things that seemed riskier and maybe didn't work out taught us valuable lessons
Right.
of, oh, well, if we did that again, we wouldn't do it quite the same.
Right.
We would make some adjustments. And we've had to do that all along the way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we started out um, at the top of the food chain. We started off in Whole Foods with
Wow.
our products. Yeah. And we did that for 8 years. And
Wow.
Whole Foods was amazing. And there are things that we would never have learned had
Hmm.
we not done that. And
Hmm.
now we're in Mariano's and
Hmm.
Fresh Time
Wow.
and Southtown Health Foods and Living Fresh. And for me, I really, really, really love local. So
Right.
I'm really loving the local retail experiences, because I feel like we're making a difference in the
Mm.
neighborhoods that I grew up in.
Hmm.
So,
Can you
mm.
talk more about that?
Yeah, we have products now on the west side of Chicago in the first Black female owned grocery
Wow.
market on the west side of Chicago,
Wow.
and to go in there and know that every day they're making history and we're tagging along as partners in that,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
teaching folks how to eat healthier and cleaner and move more and live better.
Hmm.
It just really does your heart good to know that with what we've created, we're able to give back
Yeah.
and then help others along this journey. And that's
Yeah.
truly what it's about. And even on the south side of Chicago, there's a new South Side market. And to know that, where I grew up on the south side of Chicago, we can now meet people where they are and let them know that there is opportunity to do better.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, it's what you said, right? Like when you were saying when you were growing up, like you didn't know, growing up on the South Side, you didn't know these things existed. And so now
At
not only are
all.
people getting like learning about the gut health and the gluten-free and all of that, but also to see someone like you, right, who looks like them
Yes.
doing this and building it and like not just someone they hear about, but it's like you're there with
Yes.
them, right there with them. Yeah.
Someone they can touch, they can talk to, they can see, they can follow, and they can say, if she can do it and she
Right.
looks like me, then
Right.
I can do it.
Yeah.
And there is no greater reward than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think also like you were saying earlier about like taking risk and things like that and like some working, some not. But I think there's
Yeah.
something to be said that like no matter what, like if it works or doesn't, it's like your decision. You know what I mean? Like you can, as opposed to like, well, someone else told me to do it. And like, but at least you were able to say like, this is the decision, like this is why I made the decision. And so regardless, like you can live with that because you know you made the
Yes.
decision.
Yes. And the decisions that you make, you get to own them, whether they are
Yeah.
good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
They belong to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
very true. Which I guess is like a pro of not getting investment early on because you can kind of experiment more, right? And see like what works for you and
Yes.
your, yeah,
And then I can make decisions on the ways that we grow,
right,
what we do, and what we stand for.
right.
So, and going to our local retail markets and seeing little girls who's like, oh, mommy, this is good.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And even that
mhm,
idea, like think about it. I don't know that an investor would have told you to do that, right? Like be like, oh yeah, like you
probably
show up,
not.
you be there, like, and so you've gotten to do that and impact in a broader way, I imagine.
Yes, I would agree. I
Yeah.
would absolutely agree.
Yeah. Has there been anything about the community who's been connecting with Miss P's Gluten Free that surprised you?
Um, what surprises me, I think, about building community and about reaching out is people's ability to be brutally honest. There are people who are brutally honest. They're like, yeah, that's not for me. Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you for telling
Right.
me. Let me move on over here and keep it
Right.
moving. So that surprises me how brutally honest people can be. But I would rather them do that than ring around the rosy. And again, I came from federal law enforcement, so I shouldn't be surprised by
Yeah.
that because people truly tell you how they feel. So I love that. And another surprise has been the amount of people who have said to me, thank you. Thank you for creating Miss P's that is good to you and good for you, that they truly enjoy it. And
Hmm.
that it makes my day.
Hmm.
And it does more for me than people probably even realize when they say it. Because the look I give them, like, oh, thank you. I know they're
Right.
like, okay. But yeah, that truly surprises me also. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Whenever people eat Miss P's gluten free, how do you want them to feel?
What I want them to experience with Miss P's is first moist deliciousness. I want them to say, oh, wow, this is a different feel in my mouth than your regular hard, scratchy granola. And it has benefits. So
Hmm.
your organic flax, organic chia, organic coconut oil, I want them to feel good
Right.
about eating it
Right.
and then start to see the benefits,
Yeah.
feeling like they want to move, feeling like they want to do better,
Hmm.
being inspired by our story, because it truly is one of overcoming,
Yeah. Yeah.
overcoming so much. And I want people to get that, to know that this is not just, another product
Hmm.
that was produced to make money.
Right.
This is a story, a business, a family that has overcome a lot to get to
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah.
Is there anything you think people still maybe misunderstand about gluten-free, gut-friendly food?
Yeah, I think a lot of people still believe that everything that's gluten-free tastes terrible. And that's
Yeah.
simply not true.
Yeah, no.
There have been so many advancements, not just with Miss P's gluten free. I mean, we absolutely focus on the taste, the texture, the feel, but there are um, emerging gluten free baking businesses that make the most wonderful items.
Hmm.
Because when I see gluten free, I'm like, let me check it out.
Right. Literally,
Let me
yeah.
see. And I am elated to discover so many fabulous things that are now good to you, good for you, gluten free. And you don't have to miss out
Right.
because you're gluten free. You don't have to risk your health because a lot of times, if you've been diagnosed as needing to be gluten free and you continue to put gluten in your body, realize that you're poisoning your body is turning against you, and you don't want that.
Right.
And it leads to other issues.
Yeah.
So if you need to be gluten free and you've been diagnosed, take it slow, move it slow, but get to the point to where
Right.
you can do it. And it can be done. I am a
Right.
living witness because when they said I couldn't have no, I think the biggest thing I missed is White Castle, and it's probably the worst thing for me. So it's probably a good thing I can't have it.
Right.
But I feel so much better. And I think that is so much more important than, okay, every now and then I need to have something that's going to cause me digestive issues, that's
Right.
going to cause me not to feel great.
Right.
So I've learned to really adapt, enjoy, and I think that that shows up in the way that we bake.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
all our folks are like, yeah, you can tell it's baked with love.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like to your point too, like whenever you're not following it, it's like there's inflammation. Like even if you can't see it, like imagine on the inside if you're having these digestive issues and there has to be inflammation. Like so it's
yeah,
just crazy. And that's what's so wonderful about like companies like yours is that you're making alternatives. So now it's not like people have to be like, well, let me roll the dice. You know what I mean? Like, because
yeah,
I really don't want
exactly.
like see what happens. Now it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like these things exist and they taste good, and it's just amazing.
Yes, yes, that's what we love. Creating that opportunity to really do better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we
Definitely.
know better, we do better.
It's true. It's
So,
true. Looking ahead, like what excites you the most about the future of gluten-free, gut-friendly food?
to me, the most exciting things I see is a couple of things. One, when athletes endorse
Mm,
gut healthy, gluten free foods, because so many people look up to them.
right,
And if
right.
they're saying, we love this and it's good for you,
Yeah,
then more people can get on the bandwagon.
that's
I
true.
love that. I love that for them to just really be authentic and say, yes, I have to do this, but I get to eat
Right.
this because it tastes good and it's good for me. So
Yeah.
that I love. I love the fact that many of us are discovering healthier alternatives.
Right.
That you don't have to eat so much junk anymore,
Mm-hmm.
that you can really, really do better, feel better. And when you get to be 60 like me, you can still feel good and move around and play with the grandbabies and do all
Right.
the things that you want to continue doing well into your 60s and 70s and even 80s
Yeah. Yeah.
nowadays. So,
Yeah. And
mhm.
do you have any other thoughts, I guess, because you bring this up like on that idea of like longevity or like kind of planning for the future in that way?
Yes. Yes. I would say if most of us really realize while we're in our 20s and 30s that we want this longevity and we get on that path, when you get to be 70, 80, then you can feel great
Mm-hmm.
and still maintain, still hit the gym, and you'll have more time to do it because once you retire, you can get more living out of life and feel good because life truly is about healthy movement and eating better and doing better. And
Right.
once we can do that and adapt it as a part of who we are, once we get to those ages, it's still who we are and we'll
Yeah.
probably be even better at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like establishing those habits early on. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And is there anything
I
in
would.
particular you think for like women specifically that would kind of help them as they think about these different, like this health journey and still eating delicious food and everything, but just thinking about that journey?
Yes, especially for women, because we are the caretakers. We take care of everybody, but you cannot take care of everybody if we don't take care of ourselves. We, especially, being the grandmas and the wives and the sisters and the cousins, we have to do better because everybody, I know in my family, most of the family, when we're making decisions, I'm getting calls. Lisa, how about so me doing better, taking care supplements instead of medication? I am huge on that. And even those things that are hereditary, like for us, high blood pressure.
Mm,
So instead of me succumbing and saying, I'm just going to deal with the medications, I found a supplement
mm,
that I can take and have a half a grapefruit a day and control my blood pressure
mm,
without taking medication.
mm-hmm.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
Understanding that we are the caretakers and that we have to do self care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Self care is not selfish. It is something that we have to do in order to be able to take care of others. And so many people pull at us that if we're not grounded and we're not set and we're not taking our supplements and getting our workouts and eating healthier, then we become the problems.
Right.
So we don't want that.
No.
Um, I am so, so huge on us as women, as minority women, as grandmas, as moms, taking better care of ourselves, eating healthier, finding out what works. Because the while I really believe in doctors, I also believe in making sure that whatever the doctor recommends is best for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I listen to the doctors, I go to the doctors, I get my mammograms, I get my checkups, and then I go do research to see what could be something that could help more than this prescription they want to put you on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I find that, and when I find it works, because when I was prescribed the high blood pressure medication, I took the statins for about a week
Mm-hmm.
and they made me feel horrible.
Wow.
And they have such terrible side effects,
Mm-hmm.
but so many people depend on modern medicine. So I just researched it for myself. I went in, I found the supplement. I ordered it. I made sure it worked, and I monitored my own blood pressure at home
Mm-hmm.
for like weeks
Mm-hmm.
before I then came off of the statin all the way and took the supplement.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really understanding that we have to be our own advocate. We have to understand what works for ourselves, because what works for me may not work for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So being that advocate, doing the research, and now it's so much easier. You got Google, you got AI, you got all of these things. Finding out what works for us and then doing the best we can with what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I take all kinds of supplements. I take a vitamin C with flavonoids. I take spirulina. I take black seed oil. I would rather take supplements than medication any day.
Mm-hmm. No, what is spirulina good for? Because I've actually heard about this recently, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Now, for me, the spirulina helps with my rheumatoid arthritis,
Mm.
and so does the black seed oil.
Mm.
So what I do is I went in for the rheumatoid arthritis thing because my joints were crazy. And the doctor's like, yeah, I could put you on the medication, but the side effects are worse than
The problem.
the rheumatoid arthritis
Yeah.
itself. So that's when I started looking up the spirulina and the black seed oil and how
Right.
does that work and how does it work together and what does it do and how often should I take it and what's
Mm.
the dosage I should take. So yeah, it has
Wow.
worked for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And I
awesome.
found all kinds of, that's why with our granola, I go
Mm.
with the organic flax and the
Mm.
organic chia. One gives you energy, the other keeps things moving to
Right.
help
Good
your
fiber.
digestive system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it truly is about knowing better and doing better.
Yeah. And then you're able
Mhm.
to like basically impart that information to people directly or through your products
Yep.
and things like that to help them as well.
Yes, because, keeping things flowing through this body is very, very important.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
having your supplements and your organic ingredients, and for me, I chose organics because I have looked at all of the genetically modified organisms
Mm-hmm.
that are in our foods today,
Mm-hmm.
and they do not excite me.
Fair.
So I'm like, let me make sure we're getting something that works well,
Right.
works with our systems, pushes everything through, and fills you up. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If
Mhm.
someone listening is dreaming of starting their own food brand, what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
Do your research.
Mm.
Do your research to make sure whatever you're building is solving a problem,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the biggest thing. And your differentiation. How are you different than what's
Mm.
already out here?
Mm-hmm.
What is your product providing that others have not?
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a big one. Once you've done that, you see the gaps, you see how your product can fill in those,
Mm-hmm.
then dig in for the long haul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Yeah.
there will be, honey, entrepreneurship is like this huge roller coaster. It's
Right.
up and down, ebbs and flows, and we have got to be able to balance with those and come out ahead. And
Yeah.
what one lady told me before, and she wrote a book about it, cry, but don't quit.
Right. Right.
Cry, but don't quit. And there are days, honey. I tell people, they're like, oh, that's so nice. You must be so proud. Yeah, I'm happy today. Tomorrow, I'll be in the corner crying.
Right.
But we do that and we come out and be ready to move.
Right. Right.
So,
It's like you were saying earlier, it's like one foot in front of the other, like it's making progress every day.
every day. And
Yeah.
that is what it's about. And I cannot tell you how quickly it feels like this 10 years snuck up on me, even though last week I was saying, my God, seems like it's been a longer time, but
Right.
um, yeah, it
Yeah.
is. it is like a roller coaster, but it is my firm belief that in the end, things will be as they are intended to be.
Right.
And this legacy will move forward, and my grandchildren's children will know who Miss P is. They will
Yeah.
know what she contributed to my life and how she made a way for them. So,
Yeah. That's beautiful.
thank
Wow.
you.
Okay. Well, I really loved talking about like your journey and again, like Miss P's and wonderful advice. I guess now it's time for the rapid fire, which I'm excited
Uh,
for as well.
okay.
So whatever comes to mind first. First question, sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Go to gluten-free, gut-friendly snack.
Miss P's gluten-free granola.
I love it. I love it. Hey, come on.
The very nutty.
What is the food hill you would die on?
Ooh, I would die on healthy deliciousness.
I
Die
like
on
that.
that hill.
I like that.
Hmm.
You don't have to
Hmm.
sacrifice it. You can have both.
You can have it both. You can.
Yes.
Hmm.
Food that instantly feels like home.
Oh, let's see. Apple crisp top with Miss
Mm,
P's harvest blend.
that sounds
Oh,
amazing.
oh.
Yeah, I'm like, wait. I'm like, let me write that down. I'm like, that sounds really good. What is the most underrated ingredient?
Underrated ingredients. I would say organic flaxseed.
Mm,
Yeah.
I do
I
see it in a
think
lot of like
people don't give
recipes.
it enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like every now
Yeah.
and like I see it and I'm like, do I want to use it? But now I'm like, now that you're saying
Yeah.
it, I'm like, maybe the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Like maybe,
Now you want to use the organic flaxseed meal because
okay.
you're not supposed to ingest the whole flaxseed. But
Oh,
when you turn it into a meal,
right.
you can put it in smoothies and you can put
Wow.
it in, or we put it in granola.
Hmm.
It really helps you to keep things moving.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm
Mhm.
going to be baking with that and doing everything apparently using
You gotta
that.
let me know how it turns out.
I will.
Yeah.
What is the grocery store aisle that you spend a little bit too much time in?
The snack aisle.
Right.
I spend way too much time there.
Yes.
I'm looking at these chips like, do I want those?
Right.
How are those different from these? Oh, that's got avocado oil versus canola oil. Avocado oil is much better for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Trying to find that balance. You
That's
want some good and sweet, but you also want some with something with benefits.
right.
And so, yeah.
Right. Exactly. Delicious, healthy, all of
Yep.
it. The balance, 80/20, everything.
Yes. Yeah.
What is the best gluten-free food that people don't realize is gluten-free?
Chili.
Mm, that's a
Hormel
good
chili.
answer. Wow.
Yeah.
I love
And
chili.
I do too. I do too. And somebody in my house, I don't know what was wrong with them. They bought chili without beans. So I had to go find the
What?
beans to add to the chili because it's not chili without beans.
Yeah. I'm like, from
So I
where? I'm like,
needed
who
the
was
gluten.
selling chili without beans? Who
Exactly.
was
So I
it?
had my gluten-free cornbread, my and my
That's so funny.
Hormel gluten-free chili. And oh, life is good, especially when it's cold out like
I
this.
know. Okay, that's a hack. I'm gonna have to make that now. I'm gonna make that. That's good. With beans. With beans. I don't know who is
With
messing
beans.
around with that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is your favorite Miss P's gluten-free products?
To me, my favorite is the first granola that I ever created, the gluten-free berry nutty granola, because
Mm.
I'm a little nuts for nuts. So it's got your whole cashews, your whole almonds, it's got cranberries, it's got raisins, and it is so delicious.
Yummy.
It's so good.
Wow. Amazing. I
Mhm.
love the answers. So to close, I always like to ask, growing up, my dad always said if it was about like people or food or life, that things should be good to you, good for you, and good with you. When it comes to the gluten-free, gut-friendly eating, what does that mean to you?
To me, that means Miss P's gluten-free granola. Good to
Hmm.
you, because it's got the organic ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, helps keep things moving, gives you some energy and keeps you full. And the last one you said is good with you. You can know then that you're putting good ingredients in your body and no added processed sugar. And you can stand on that and have it every day. It
Right.
is amazing.
Yeah, a little breakfast, a little snack, a little after
Oh,
dinner
snack.
for
I've got
everything.
truckers who keep it in their cab and
That's
just snack
smart.
on it right out of the bag. I'm
That's
like, yep,
smart.
yep, yep.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for speaking with me and like sharing your journey and your philosophy on like balance and really taking care of ourselves holistically.
Yes.
Yeah, if anyone wants to check out all the delicious, yummy like toffee and granola and cookie bars, they should
Yes.
head over to misspeasglutenfree.com and follow them on Instagram at misspeasgfree.
Yes. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dominique. And take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Eat with Dominique. I had an amazing time chatting with Lisa and was so inspired by how she's used her own gut challenges to make delicious options for the gluten-free community. You can also check out Miss P's Gluten-Free, including their special 3 for $29.98 granola deal at misspsglutenfree.com. If you end up ordering, tag me or message me. I love seeing what you're trying. And if you have a gluten-free, allergy-friendly, or gut-sensitive friend who needs better options, send this episode their way. We'd love to have them. This podcast is all about actionable tips, trustworthy brands, and real strategies to make gluten-free, gut-friendly living easier, tastier, and pain-free. So remember, whether it's life or food, make sure it's always good to you, good for you, and good with you. I'll see you soon.